Hey everybody, and welcome back to Psychology Geek. In today's video, we will look at 10 surprising signs that you may be way smarter than most people. Before we go straight into the video, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. You may not realize it, but you may be the next Tesla, Einstein, or at least brighter than those 5th grade ex-schoolmates. If you recognize yourself on these 10 signs, you may be way smarter than most people think. 1. Chocolate, yes please. Yes, this is a sign. If you love chocolate, then chocolate loves smart people back. Franz Masurli published a study where he linked Genius Dexter kind of brilliantly per 10 million people and saw how much chocolate was consumed around the globe. Then Bingo found out that Switzerland, where chocolate is in every corner, had a higher rating than Denmark and Sweden. Yeah, we know, a statistic among 10 million people and some chocolate sounds far-fetched. But if chocolate is on the menu, we don't mind making it an indisputable scientific fact. It's chocolate. And if you eat it in healthy doses, not the quantity you eat on long Sundays, it can stimulate your mental activity. We won't tell anyone how much chocolate is enough. We're more intelligent than that. 2. If you get mad, you know what's up. Emotions can make us blind. The more we feel, the less we think about it rationally. That's why so many violent crimes happen in passionate moments. Or that's why your keyboard when you were a kid suffered so many difficulties when you just couldn't beat that final boss fight. When you are overweight with emotions, you can't see the whole picture. But in the already intricate wiring that our brains and emotions already have, giving them some distance can make considerable differences in how we handle things. Whenever you feel unstable or uneasy, you know precisely the root of the problem and can rationalize why this is an issue to fix. That takes a lot of mental activity to stop for 2 seconds and look at yourself more coldly. That cold can allow you to know exactly what's bothering you and move on to another issue. We all have bad days, but some need more help than others to realize the root of the problem. And in your case, you've got that figured out quickly. 3. You talk to yourself. Talking to yourself is a big sign you may be a genius. Psychologists Daniel Swigley and Gary Lupian did a study where they found that good self-talk helps you differentiate critical thoughts from the useless ones. You are the manager of your mind by self-talking and can give order to what's essential in your life and what's not. That's a healthy virtue of stopping thinking useless thoughts. Imagine who else talks to themselves. Albert Einstein used to repeat his lines to make more sense of them. How did that turn out? Some of us get confused if you ask how much is 3 times 9. Nonetheless, we are familiar with the famous concept of the theory of relativity. Repeating those lines works for all humankind. 4. You are a mind reader. Are you always finishing up other people's sentences or finding that missing word in the conversation? You are close to being a physicist, actually more than a genius. It takes a lot of neurons working in your brain to have that high level of empathy. It takes an exceptional mind to fill others' gaps or lack of attention by understanding them and following in that mental process to find the right words to continue engaging in the task. That connection with others is called emotional intelligence and can take you to a more manageable life. According to renowned psychologist Daniel Coleman, people who care about others and feel that close connection generally succeed in life. Those close to you can give you a lot of contacts and help you a lot in your career. Also, because you are more loving to people around you, it's logical that you will get a lot of support from your peers, thus helping you thrive in all aspects of life. 5. You are creative. Creation that comes from the inspiring moments of being capable of doing new things from scratch is a vital sign that you are brilliant. It's not a small feat in this world already full of made-up stuff to create something entirely new. It takes a special kind of character. But unfortunately, that's a virtue not everyone has and can set you apart in several ways. It's tricky to find and can give you a lot of freedom. not just because you have more opportunities in your career if you create new ways to cut back old methods or find new solutions nobody saw already, but also in the sense that if you get creative in life in general, it's a lot more fun. Since you get to create, you can go through those spontaneous moments, a trademark and a way of living. So indeed, being creative expands and makes you more flexible when challenging situations arise. It gives you that extra in the projects you embark on. 6. Noise-cancelling headphones are your best friends. There is a familiar feat among many historical geniuses. Charles Darwin, Anton Chekhov, they can't stand background noises, especially when you need to finish an important task. So if you have nightmares about your neighbours, you are not alone. That background noise can be annoying for people who live a busy life with critical tasks, so they will likely look for a bunker to study in or a haven with the lowest noise possible. We get you when that sudden idea comes up or gets around to complicated subjects from time to time. They got a rope, and if you don't get that little piece of string in your mind, you can lose track of it, and then that idea or conclusion is gone. So you need to be 100% sharp on the process at hand. Your attention can vanish if the neighbours are shouting again or when music at 3 o'clock in the early morning on a Tuesday is usually made. Not everyone can ignore every little noise that interrupts your high performance in that mental state. So if that back noise mumbling bothers you, you are smarter than you think. 7. Nobody can read your handwriting. Yeah, doesn't it happen that you live a life accelerated, so when you write something with a paper and a pen, the pen just flies off your hand? And even if you slow down, it's hard for you to understand the Egyptian hieroglyphics that paper now has on it. Well, that's a good sign. A sign with a scientific concept called creative disorder, which is the fuel inside you to keep up that creative nature. That hard-to-read handwriting is a clear sign of creativity, and creativity is a clear sign of being a genius. So you got 2 birds for 1 paper. That's perfect. Next time somebody makes fun of your handwriting, laugh and shove that criticism away. You know it's a good thing that needs no correction. Well, maybe a little if you are preparing for a test. That professor that has to correct 60 students will be thankful. 8. Hard to fit in. You are never the king who belongs to big groups or wants to keep the trend and follow some random cult. You probably never got interested in those engaging small talks at work or school. Well, you don't fit in quite easily. Everybody is different, but some are a little more different than others, which shows when you are in a group. Something doesn't let you fit in quite well. There is nothing wrong with that. We all have different mature cycles, and that kid alone at high school may be somebody's boss tomorrow. There is something that just stands out, not fitting in. You have a higher interest to pursue or another kind of perception that just doesn't pull your strings. Many people like that are misunderstood. Approach them and get to know them when you see one. And if that person is you, hard to fit in, then we've got a genius watching our top 10. 9. You don't fall for the so-called spiritual gurus' Ponzi schemes. This is a big one. You have a rationalized side in your brain that connects all the dots at all times. It's hard to deceive you. That up speed lets you see all those holes in some weird or crazy plan. It can save a lot of hassle, and the first one to walk away from all that superficiality is you. That's a significant advantage in this world where many scammers are running around on social media, even in the bar. As you already saw, they have the same pattern that's such an easy thing for you to see. Besides, there's not much to discuss with you when there isn't a scientific fundament behind so many nonsense claims. Spiritual gurus that ask for money and repeat hollow lines are not welcome in the eyes of a genius. With you, a Ponzi guru can't take a dime away because those patterns are already recognised, analysed and clear before he even got to the door. A fundamental virtue of a natural feeling of being way more awake than those who fall into those traps. 10. Self-control checked. There is a significant factor to a happy life: the ability to control yourself. With an immense difference between people who can and those that live governed by their instincts and emotions. Imagine getting mad at somebody who crashed your car with a bit of a bump. A common accident can occur anytime, but you have that urge just to send that human being to Mars from a roundhouse kick. But you control yourself and politely handle the situation. There is a striking difference between you and that guy who just let loose and started a fight with the other person without giving it a second thought. You resolve the problem, and nothing happens more than a bit of a bump that insurance will cover. On the other hand, our roundhouse kick friend did it so that the other person had to be sent to hospital and had a concussion that would last him for life. Our friend got a slight bump in his car and a trial for damages that could cost him thousands. Leaving that little bump was the least of his problems. That example could be in any situation. Therefore, controlling yourself is a significant sign that you are way more intelligent than you think. Have you recognized yourself already? Tell us in the comments, leave a like for that YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like these.